Welcome to the Advent of Code 2024, day 4. So this problem is called series search, and it's a grid problem. So we need to find every instance of the word Xmas in all directions. So it can be horizontal, vertical, diagonal, or written backwards, or even overlapping other words. So to do this, we will look at this example input. To do this, we actually want to we want to search for all the occurrences of that word in any direction. And to make that easier, what I did was using something called a complex type. So a complex type is a structure that using specified real and imaginary values. It can be used for a lot of different things, usually involve some heavy mathematical things, but using it for this problem, it fitted very well. So I've already pasted in some boilerplate code just to parse the grid. So we're going to jump right into the problem itself. So what we want to do here, so we want to start looking for this, and to make it really easy. So we do a for each of where we have the called start in the call it start in our grid. So we will loop through all our dictionary keys, which will be all of our coordinates. And for each we want to check if this is if the word Xmas is in any of the directions. So now we will check. So for each coordinate, we will do for each directions. Let's just call it dir to make it a little bit easier. So if the grid, so we do a try get value. This way we will not have to. It will be much easier to do this in one if statement. So we will do we'll check the start. We'll do an out char C1. So if C1, if that is X, and then we check all the other words. So let's just practice. Now we will actually see what the benefit is of using a complex number for this is that we can just add. We have all these operator is already built into the complex number. So we just we add that coordinate to that start coordinate. M dot plus D multiplied by 2 should be C3, and if C3 is an A, oh, okay, and the last one here is going to be, we will multiply it by 3 to get the last digit, or the last char. So C4, and if C4 is equal to S, then we will update our counter. And that will give us our answer for part 1. So if you run this, oh, sorry, I was going to use the test input for this, yeah, so this should be 18. Yeah, so let's go back to the problem here. So in this case, we were to search for the word. So the part 2 here is a little bit different. So then we want to find the MAS in an X shape. That means that we will actually have to look for the A and search for all the directions from the A. But as I've done it in that, built up this dictionary for this problem, it's pretty straightforward actually to do this in a similar way actually. So we want to find the MAS in an X pattern. So let's do the part 2 count. So, yeah. So we'll do the same loop here. But now we will start by checking if current char in the grid is the letter A. A. Otherwise, we will just jump over that character. So if it's A, well, then we we will have to do 2 checks. So we will not use the directions component, the directions dictionary for this. We need to just print it out. So we have a bool condition 1. That will be the grid dot target value start minus new context 1 out C1A. So we want to check for the MSSM pattern in all these directions. So if the grid target value plus plus 1 1 C1B and C1B equals S. Or grid or if it's SM, so it's MS or SM in that direction. C2A equals S and grid. And using the we look out in all these directions for these characters. So I'm not going to type it out just because it's a lot to type here. P and C2B. Oh, I see. I have actually misspelled this. Yeah. C2B equals M. This is the condition 1. So we just make a copy of it. Type it all. So the condition 2 will be Instead, we will check in the other direction. Now we have to actually take the 3, and the 4, 4. So yeah, so now we have the condition 1 and condition 2. So if condition 1 and condition 2 is true, we will just increment our part 2 counter. That should give us the solution for part 2. Yeah, so if we check back to the code, so it should be 9 times for the example data. So I got 1982 for my real data and 2464 for my real data for part 1. So we will only check the example data here. So this is a pretty clean way to do it, I think. Obviously, if you never have used complex numbers, don't actually understand it, then you could easily replace the complex with maybe a point or doing a tuple, keeping the coordinates. But I think it's really clean to use the coordinates this way, because otherwise one obvious other way to do this would actually be to loop through the grid as a graph and just checking all the characters outward from all these directions. But then you have to keep up with the edges and the bottom and the top. You have to do a lot of other checkings when you're doing that. But you could achieve exactly the same thing, but not in these few lines that I have here. So I think this is a really nice way to do it. So that's all for me today. So please leave a comment if you like this. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.